Okay guys, I'm coming from my Subaru Outback. This rant is about, podcast, it's not called rant, podcast is about self-driving cars. I've been sitting here for the past 2.5 hours driving my car, and it's bad weather. It's snowy out, and it's not really ideal for anyone to be on the roads. But I was sitting here, I'm like, okay, I'm driving. I can't really see the lines, but I can kind of guesstimate where I am in the lanes. And I can follow previous tire tracks. And I'm looking down and I realize that a self-driving car reacts on the visual aid of the lines on the road and seeing the car in front of me. That is how the new cruise control is. The adaptive cruise control is reacting upon the car in front of me. And before people become self-reliant on these automations in these cars, we need to address other issues, which I don't think are really being addressed yet. I mean, I have driven a car with adaptive cruise control. It is very unique and it's very good. But sitting here driving my car right now, I'm realizing that if it's a whiteout condition, will it be braking all the time? I mean, I don't know. I have to maybe drive one. But I wouldn't trust it. Like, if I can't see in front of me, how is the car supposed to see in front of me? Now, like, at the same point, it's like, how is it going to see the lanes? How is it supposed to know that I am not just driving on a road, but I'm driving in inclement weather? Maybe it should slow down on turns, stop further up before. I mean, I've seen a lot of tests with self-driving cars, read a lot about them by Google and by Tesla, and there's a lot of accidents around them because, they're not programming for what I like to call real-world condition. I mean, a real-world condition is when there's snow on the ground and you need to use your active brain to drive. Now, I don't see a self-driving car or an adaptive cruise control or even lane control cars being able to do that. But the worst of it is that we're becoming more reliant on this technology that can fail. I mean, like, it doesn't know, like, while I'm passing a truck like that, I gotta let off my gas and stay back into it gently. So, like, because I want to slow down around a truck. You don't know what the other car is going to do around you. Now, granted, the cars are smart. They can do auto braking. They can do everything right in that instance. But the thing is, they don't know what's on the ground. Yes, we probably can identify for snow and change the algorithms for it, but honestly, you need a reactive brain to understand the feel of the car. Like, you can have slip detection, all that, but it's already at that point of where the slip happens, it's too late. It's not going to be recoverable. I mean, it could probably be slowed down, but I work in manufacturing, and we automate a lot of things, but driving shouldn't be one of them. You need a human behind the car. During the snowstorm, I'm doing 10 under the speed limit. Like, I'm fully aware of my surroundings. I'm fully adapted to what's going on around me, and I'm feeling the road. I can feel how my Subaru is gripping the road as I drive. Please tell me how a car with the computer driving it will know this. Now, I understand that we have points where a driver has to take over, but is it going to be too late when the driver takes over? It's just, I'm in true belief that there shouldn't be self-driving cars. Now, there's a whole other way about that, and that could be self-driving commuters, like it was more like buses and trains. That's a different story because you can shut those down during the weather, but like unless you have the car to program to shut down during the weather, then it's the only way I can see it working, that driver has to take on full responsibility for the car. But to that point, that person who's relied on this technology to drive them everywhere every day on a highway doesn't know how to react anymore to a road that's changing. I mean, just in my 2 hours of driving, or 2.5 hours, the road has gone through several different changes. I went through freezing rain, snow, sleet, and then hail. every time that changed how I drove. Like, and the person that relied on that technology doesn't know how to drive the car through those changes. We're going down this path that people aren't going to have the knowledge on how to handle an automobile. A car is, a lot of people say a 3,000-pound gun because it's a deadly vehicle that can hurt. It is. Don't get me wrong. Like, you can screw up one thing. I mean, I've crashed myself just because it's not because I'm an idiot driver. It happens. Mistakes are happening. But when we become reliant on technology to take over the basic fundamentals of our lives, I think something's wrong in our society. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, if it's a good day, sunny out, let the car take over. But if you feel drop until 30 and freezing, or there's a certain precipitation monitor on the car to say, okay, it's doing more than just a light rain, it should go to driver. Or it should understand that the driver can't drive that and recommend pulling over till the weather passes. It sucks, but I mean, there needs to be a lot of safety regulations about this. I don't think those are going on. I mean, heck, you shouldn't be able to watch a movie while the self-driving car is going. The Tesla right there, they had a whole big issue with that a couple of years ago. Car crash, kids got watching Harry Potter, I believe. There needs to be something like an eyesight monitor or something that's watching the guy's eyes, making sure they're still on the road. To put these things into play and not really think about every factor, it's a disjustice to us and us as humans. I mean, because we can think past the basic element of 01001 equals this, but we don't think that way. We have an emotion. We have eyesight that can kind of foresee the future. I mean, if I can see a car not handling the road in front of me very well, I'll slow down, drop back 30 feet in case it spins out. Like, can a computer do that? Probably. With enough programming, eventually it could. But should it? Like, I don't believe that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an old school personality who has faith in humanity to say that there's certain things that we should not be letting computers take over. I know I sound like a 65-year-old at that point. There's my view on self-driving cars and inclement weather. Well, this is Eric signing off. I still got another about 2.5 hours of my trip, so I'll see you guys later.